Moon Knight, issue number 5. That's right, folks. It's back. Oh, it's so good. I am a big Moon Knight fan. You guys know that. He's my character. I have loved him forever. There are so many great runs of Moon Knight. There are some bad ones, but there are some great ones. But I think this issue number 5 of this run, solidifies two things in my opinion. First off, it solidifies that Jed MacKay fucking deserved this book, because there is so much appreciation put onto this character that it is fantastic. Secondly, I think it's in early contention to be a top 2 run of Moon Knight, because this issue is so good. It's so good. So basically, it is split into 2 parts. There's this part where Marc is talking to his therapist, and then there's the present day stuff. I'm going to start with talking about the stuff with the therapist. So basically, she's asking if Marc is okay. She's like, I have some concerns with you. I know we've been talking about your DID, but that's not what I'm really thinking about. You are a high-functioning person dealing with these, disabling abilities, because you are a superhero, because you are a soldier, you have, become a part of high-stress situations before, so you've learned to cope with that. I'm not talking about your brain damage either. The Avengers put out for you, like they're doing, they're saying you do good work and that you are a good person. But I feel like you haven't been honest with me. And I want you to be honest with me. And she's just like, well, this is more about why you pretend to wear the mask, or why you do wear the mask. Like, what are you trying to signify by wearing it? And basically, it feels like Marc is being called out by that, and he doesn't like that idea. But he's like, you know what? I've been nothing but open with you about everything we're talking about. So if you have a problem, why don't you just ask me a damn question? She's like, well, why are you so unhappy? And basically, he just goes, oh, unhappy, really? Oh, who cares? My happiness doesn't matter. I'm the fist of Khonshu. I don't need my happiness. I have a duty. I have a debt. This is what I'm doing. Why does any of this matter? But she's like, okay, shut the hell up for a minute. You don't have to, go into some grandest spiel like a religious zealot, okay? I'm capable of understanding you. I can take all your... I can understand every answer you give me, okay? Don't treat me like I'm a video game character. Talk to me like a real person. And he asked the question, are you Jewish, Dr. Sternum? And this leads him into a big speech that this is the stuff that I really like. Now, something I wanted to bring up too in this book, when Marc is angry, I love the way Alexandro just draws the line work for this. Or maybe it's Rachel here. I'm not too sure who's actually doing that. But you just see the colors just make it so dark when he's angry, and when he's come at this point in the actual therapist portion of the book, he's half white and half black, signifying he is both comfortable and uneasy, which I really enjoy, the duality between that, because that's this character. He has so much duality in him, it's unbelievable. I love it. So he asked the question, are you Jewish? He's like, of course, there's being raised Jewish and there's being raised by a rabbi. And I was raised by a rabbi. He was one of the greatest men I know. He was so gentle, so nurturing, so nice. And he was such a man of peace that I hated him for it. I thought it made him weak, He was serving this God, an indifferent God, and it didn't do anything for him, he just was this man who didn't do anything. It's your perseverance is great, but what has that really gotten you? And where's that God gotten us? So, yes, when the God led me to, Egypt, and I'm dead, that God led me to die. And a different God literally comes to me and says, I will give you life. So, yes, of course I chose to go to that God. When the one I was raised to believe left me to die, the one who wanted me found me and brought me back to life. She's like, well, no one can blame you for wanting to live, Marc. And he's like, I know, and I'm not saying that. But that's just the thing, it's I saw my whole life that my father was this one thing. And that, he would have died before he broke his faith in God. But I did. I broke my faith in that God. And because of that, it took me down a path that was the opposite of what my father intended. He was a good man who did good things. I turned to a path of violence, and then it became an addiction. I would indulge in those addictions. And I love this line. This is one of my favorite lines of this issue. He's just like, my father's God took us out of Europe. My new God had kept us there. I love that. And because this is the part of the book where I'm like, yes, Marc deals with this all the time. I think it's underplayed that he is of Jewish heritage, and it doesn't come up a lot in some of these books, but I think it's just really cool when that comes up. It's a really important part of his character, and I like seeing it here represented in a cool way. So basically, she's like, do you regret that choice? Do you regret asking for your life back? He's like, yeah, I do. Because what good did it get me? My father's dead. I killed my brother, which is a great callback. None of my friends talk to me anymore. They're lucky that they're even alive because of me. Everyone else I know is in the ground, and I have nothing going for me. My God literally said, we're going to take down the Avengers, and I'm going to control the world. And I accepted that. And I chose to do that. I did that for my God. And you know what? Because it's what I've always done when I was Mark Spector, when I was a mercenary, when I was a Marine, when I'm Moon Knight. All I've ever done was follow what my God said. And because of that, I have a daughter who I don't see. I have a ex-wife where they never married. I have an ex who doesn't see me. And like, I drove them away because they're scared of me. And you wonder why, like, I wear the mask, why I don't take it off, why I am Mr. Knight and Moon Knight all the time. Why am I the Fist of Khonshu all the time? It's because I have nothing else left. Being this person, coming back from the dead cost me everything I had. So it doesn't matter if I'm Marc Spector, because who cares about him? He's nothing. You wonder why I developed DID? It's because I'd rather be anybody else but the person I am here. And he's just like, how's that for honesty? Oh, fuck, man. That is so good. That is the character. That is just distilling everything about Moon Knight down to one sentiment. And it's amazing. It is just fantastic. It is brilliantly written. Jed MacKay just knocks it out of the park. It is just insane how good this book is. It shouldn't be this good. It shouldn't. It's just so good, and I love that. Just talking about his father, how these gods that he has believed in his whole life have went against him, and he found a new one that is still going against him. I think that's brilliant. So the other part of this book is kind of like in the present day, as they're saying. Now, a couple weeks ago, Jed MacKay on his Twitter said, I'm going to give a signed copy of the issue to anybody who can guess who the villain, the overarching villain who's behind everything, is going to be in this story. His stipulation was you can only get one guess. It's a character who has never been a Moon Knight villain before. It is a character who has already existed in the Marvel Universe. And, fascinating what he chose to do here. So we open up, he's headed back from therapy, he's just talking to Reese, and she's like, Terry's waiting for you in your office, and he looks angry. Again, I was talking about like the coloring with Alessandro's art. You see when he's walking into his office, it's all like just colored black, and he's like this dark shaded character. So he goes to talk to Terry, and he's like, I kind of know who's been like stalking for you or like coming for you. It's Soldier. So he goes to investigate Soldier's place. Terry comes with him, and they're just like looking at this stuff. He's like, I know he stays with his mom sometimes. That could be a place to look at too. And as they're kind of like exploring and looking through this stuff in Soldier's place, they find this photo of him with Hydra tattoos and Hydra soldiers. So it's kind of like setting you up to be like, oh, this is supposed to be the villain. It's like, is it Zemo? Is it Red Skull? Is it going to be a Hydra villain that we are talking with here? And then we see Moon Knight just swooping around. He's like, well, I got to find this guy and see what he's up to. He goes to talk to Soldier's mother because that's something he saw. And he's literally just dressed in his Moon Knight garb, just having like muffins with her. It's nice. And he just gets an alarm break at his, midnight mission. He goes to investigate, and basically he breaks in. He's like, this is a setup, isn't it? And we see soldiers chained up. We all fell for the ploy. It's not that. And we see there's a speaker communicating to Moon Knight like, okay, so here's the deal. One thing that could happen is the Moon Knight is real. Like you've done all this stuff right. So you've pretty much got two options. You admit that you're a phony, and everything will work out just fine. And you could just be like, I'm bad at this. I'm a lie. I don't do this right. So none of this matters. Or two, you can die in here from the explosion strapped to Soldier, and you'll die saving somebody who's an ex-Hydra piece of trash. That's a real photo. Like, Soldier's ex-Hydra. He's like, dude, I'm not worth saving. Get out of here and just save yourself before this nonsense continues. But Mark's like, no, I'm saving you. I just saw your mom. You think I'm going back there and telling her you blew up? You just gotta trust me. So he gets out this weird, what do you call it, like a plasma torch. Starts like torching the chains, hoping it works before the bomb goes off. And the tension is incredible. It is just strong and intense. It's just like a tick tock going back and forth. And you see the building explodes. You're like, where did they get out? And he crawls through the sewer, dragging with him Soldier. So he did it, but he's broken. And we see hovering overhead. You're like, I'll be damned. You did it there, big guy. I didn't think you had it in you, Moon Knight. I underestimated you. This is going to be very fun. And we see that the person hovering over him is Terry. And you're like, Terry's the villain? And you're looking at this. It's a redheaded guy in a nice suit. Your first instinct goes, oh, is this Arcade? Are we setting up like some weird elaborate thing happening with Arcade here? But no, it's not Arcade. You know, it's somebody who we can call Zodiac. Now, here's the thing. I have no idea who Zodiac is. And I was like looking it up a little bit before this. There's like the team that is the Zodiac team with like, you know, like Leo and Ares and all of them. But I don't think that's what this is. So I don't know who this guy is. And it's very exciting. He's got that kind of like anti-Mr. Knight look with like the black mask over his suit. There's like the lock around his neck. Freaking dope, man. I adore this issue so much. The tension building up to save Soldier was so incredibly strong and so interesting to see. I love the way Marc is talking to his therapist, just getting down to the roots of his problem, why he's unhappy is because every decision he made after seeing Khonshu was the wrong one, and if he just stayed dead, everything would be better for everyone in the world. He would have loved himself in the end as opposed to hating himself now. I think that is so cool and such strong writing. Again, the artwork and the coloring is so freaking gorgeous in this book. This is probably top echelon comic books from the big two right now, which I never thought I would say about a Moon Knight book, because this is it. If you have been a fan of this character for a long time, this is the deconstruction you need. I hearken it to something like Cantwell's Iron Man, where it's like, Tony has been a god the whole time, now we're bringing him down and making him a different type of god. This is just like Moon Knight has been perceived as this gothic, romantic character, but what's lying underneath the surface is a broken man who wishes he was dead, who betrayed the god that taught him. He pretty much like is saying, I betrayed my father for a chance of life, and now I feel shitty about it. Oh, it's just fantastic read, and I'm super excited to see what the Zodiac thing is going to be. Again, do you think we're going to see something where he's called Zodiac, and maybe we're going to see, like, there's going to be kind of like, 12 other things for him to fight, where we're going to see like a Sagittarius and a Taurus thing? I don't know. Maybe that's going to happen. Who's to say? Great book. Fantastic writing. Super strong all the way around. This is it, folks. This is the peak Moon Knight stuff we've been waiting for. We've reached it. We have achieved it. Moon Knight cannot get better than this, and comic books at Marvel cannot get better than this. My God, what strong writing. So Moon Knight, issue number 5, I am going to give a 10 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.